Hey, it's Microchasm, back with some more Sil-Q. So if I remember, we were gonna finish exploring the rest of this floor. Maybe not this area, because I don't really feel like going all the way over there, but we'll see. At least around here. There's not a whole lot to find. Yeah, since we use the Staff of Treasures, we know what's on the floor, so it's not like we're looking for loot, just for maybe a little bit of experience. And then we do want this potion, because we have not identified it yet. Yeah, these Rauko we're running, I do want to see how we're going to do against it, though. Aggressive and aggressive. So we can just wait for them. Get our free hits. So we're doing 2d12, 1d12, 2d12. Oh, interesting. Are we... Because we should be getting an extra d12 because we have Bane for Rauko, but it seems like we're only getting it on it doesn't seem like we're getting the 1d12. Maybe it counts as a critical. It doesn't work on Chem and Rauko or something. Very interesting. Let's pick this up. And we have so much understanding. I think we're just going to use understanding instead of quaffing. It's a potion of voice. Voice is reasonable for us because we're going to be singing staunching and slaying. But like the potion of Escalduin from the last episode or the episode before that, it's not the most important thing. Just trying to think, is there anything we want to get rid of? I think we don't care that much about voice. We'll drop that. We'll just take our Ring of Warmth with us. And there's these skeletons here, so there's definitely a room here. But okay, well, we kind of got trapped a bit there by the grotesque. Oh, it's one of these. Yeah, so there's gonna be like monsters behind these doors. And some loot usually, but in this case we know there isn't any. I'm just gonna kind of walk away. I don't really care that much about that area. I don't feel like dealing with it. And I'm gonna find the downstairs. Yep, I'm gonna walk to the downstairs. This Chem and Rauko is following us. But I think at this point we've got them pretty under control. Yep, he's fleeing and we killed him. Turned into a pile of rubble. I guess I do want to make sure that I'm not leaving any items on the ground. Because since I can see all the items, like normally that would mean that I've checked all of them. But in this case, I can see them all because I use the Staff of Treasures. I just want to make sure that I'm not assuming I've checked something, when in fact I have not. But I think we're good for this floor. Like usual, there are a couple things that I wanted to bring up in this episode. So let's see how this floor goes. And if I want to start talking about those things. Great axe immediately. It's a pretty light one. 5.5 pounds. It's not too much for a great axe. But we're going to leave it. So we've got that bastard sword. Oh, something is shooting us. Probably a cat assassin. Yep. Not going to be doing much damage. They can be invisible sometimes, but yeah, we got him. Let's see, what is our perception? Perception is pretty good. I want to keep bringing it up. I was thinking about the last episode and how we fell through a chasm. Of course, we did that on purpose because of the bad situation that we got ourselves in. And we'll make sure that that doesn't happen again. But that is something that happens in this game. you fall through a floor, you step on a false floor by accident, you fall to the floor below you. Maybe your minimum depth is 700 and you're at 750 or 800, just pushing it a bit, and then you fall to 850 by accident, and then there's a monster that normally spawns at 900 but it's spawned a little early, and all of a sudden you're fighting something that's 150, 200 feet out of depth for you. That's the way that you die in this game. At least that's the way that I die. Short sword defender. I believe that this gives you additional armor. Let's take a look at it. I haven't used one of these for a while. So 8 to 29 is our armor. No, it's additional evasion is what it gives you. Yeah, that's good, but we're not a short sword user, so we're not going to be using that. I'm going to explore, one thing I haven't really been doing is being especially diligent about how I actually go about exploring floors, either talking about it or actually really even implementing good practices. So one thing to think about when you're exploring a floor, I'm very confident in this character, unless something happens like what happened in the last episode. I don't think we're going to be in danger, but if you know where the stairs are, it might be good to sort of explore expanding circles around that stair, or just sort of always keep it in mind, like where that stair is. If you find 2 stairs, maybe connect the path between the 2, or stay between them at least some of the time. I mean, obviously you can't do that all the time, but just like have those types of thoughts in mind. Where are you on the floor? Where are the stairs? If you had to run, where would you run and how? And also, if you like find a staircase, and then let's say you go to the right, and you just keep going to the right. You don't go up and down, just straight to the right. Then if you do have to run away, monsters might kind of flood in from the unexplored areas up and down. So if you go in circles, you're kind of creating a perimeter for yourself. It's not something I think about that much, but I don't know, just keep it in the back of your head. This is a battle axe of Thangorodrim, which means it gives you +1 constitution, but doesn't score critical hits, right? Actually we might keep this, just because we talked earlier about having a weapon that doesn't rely on criticals, but rather on just lots of dice, like a heavy weapon. And this might be a good one. It's 5 pounds. Our Greatsword of Final Rest is nice though, because it's 6 pounds. We have 3 strength. It's 6.5 pounds. We have 3 strength. If we use a potion of strength, that gives us 3 more, so we end up with 6. If we do that with the battle axe of Thangorodrim, this one is 5 pounds. We're kind of like wasting a point of strength. I mean, kind of. Getting a little min-maxy. You may have noticed I'm not the most min-maxy kind of guy. Anyway, we used up that that Staff of Understanding, so we're just going to drop it for now, and we don't even have to make the decision quite yet. We'll just keep both of them with us. But it might be kind of nice to put on an Axe of Thangorodrim and just get a bit of extra constitution right away. This Coldrake, I don't like the idea of fighting him because we're in a bit of an unknown area, and I think that this is a vault. Because the way the floors are generated, I'm not sure, but I don't think it would normally generate a room this small. So I could be wrong, but if it is a vault, there might be monsters in it. So I'm just going to close that door and explore around and make sure it's not a vault. So this is a spider of Gorgoroth. They can bite to entrance. And if they attempt to entrance you, then you will be entranced until they hit you, or until a few turns have passed, or until you break the entrancement. But usually, I mean, if you're in combat and they entrance you, they're going to attack you on the next turn. But just getting in that one hit, your evasion is significantly reduced when you're entranced, and they can happen to roll really high, and I've lost characters to Spiders of Gorgoroth before. So actually what we're going to do is sing Song of Freedom, and that will help to prevent us from getting entranced. And I think if we do that, we shouldn't have any issue taking him out. Did we kill him? Yeah, we've slain the spider, so we can stop singing Freedom, and we can fight some cat warriors that we are not afraid of. Yeah, so I'm definitely very grateful about that last episode. How we had that situation that could easily have ended this character. And we were able to escape. I think we got a little lucky. We got a little unlucky. We got a little lucky. We found 2 wraiths right away, but we also found an upshaft right away. We happened to have a Staff of Revelations, so it turned out okay. We're going to use the Battle Axe of Thangorodrim right now. Use V. And let's just take some swings at this guy. Let's see if we can do any damage. Looks like we got a hit of 7 there. A hit of 1. They don't have that much health, actually. 10d4 health. So they could have 10 health, right? 10 to 40, which is not that much, actually. But they have a lot of armor. I'm just kind of curious, like, can we take these guys out? What is our heavy attack looking like? I'm singing Song of Slaying. Oh, but we're not going to get a critical. But if we use but we can't get criticals, right? They're resistant to criticals. So even if we roll high enough to get a critical, it won't count. Okay. So we were able to take him out. So that's good. That means we're never going to get blocked off by one of those guys. They created this rubble, like I've said in the past. I'm just going to leave it. It kind of blocks, both of these pieces of rubble are blocking that section of the level for me. So I won't get attacked from the darkness, from the unknown there. So as far as things that I wanted to bring up in this video, one of them was that in the last video I mentioned character files and the Angband's ladder on the Angband Forum website. So I want to reiterate that I think it's a good idea to upload your characters. Just because, like, the more characters that are getting uploaded, it's like the more activity the game has, the more people are sharing and talking and exploring. If somebody wants to learn how to do a pacifist, there's a really good post by Quirk about playing a pacifist. That is how I got started myself. So he posted about it on the forum, and then he also posted his character file, and I learned a lot from that post. Trying to clear this web. There we go. And then I've actually written a bit about playing as a pacifist myself on the forums. I could point you to that thread if you're interested. But yeah, just, if anybody says in the comments or something, or on Discord, if that's something you're interested in, just, you can let me know and I'll post it. But it's on the ladder, or I'm sorry, it's on the forum. But my point was just mostly that I have posted this character on the ladder, so I'm planning to upload a new character file when I release a new video. We'll see if I do it every time. Hopefully I remember to. Even if I don't, though, you can see the current or fairly current progress if you check the ladder. I just felt like I was encouraging people to post on the ladder, so I should post on the ladder too. And I will provide a link to the post for this character, so you can check it out. The character files, they don't tell you everything about how the character went, right? I mean, they're sort of technical, right, rather than the actual experience of playing. Which is, of course, one of the reasons why I wanted to make these videos, so you could actually see characters being played. But the files do show you the floor on which a particular ability was taken. So in that way, they can kind of show you how a character got built over time. They show you what floor an object was forged on, what uniques the character saw, what uniques the character killed. So you might notice that certain uniques, the person ran away from or something, or just didn't kill for whatever reason. We do have this this forge. So I'm trying to think, is there anything that we really need? I think we have all of our resistances. It might be nice to have, we have a ring of protection, 1d2. Might be nice to have 2 rings of protection, 1d2. And just wear them when we don't need other forms of resistance. Like when we need a cold resistance, we'll swap in the ring of warmth, but otherwise we'll just use the rings of protection. But we need a maximum of 12 to do a 1d2 ring of protection. I guess let me first finish this point. So while you're playing the game, you can where is it? Character sheet. I guess you can just go to your character sheet straight up by pressing the add symbol, and then you can press S for save to a file. And then once you have it saved, you'll press S and then enter. Yeah, so I already have one. I'll go ahead and replace it, but you can see that it's under, or it doesn't show you the whole file path. But it's under the lib folder and then under user, and the file is named the name of your character .txt. All right, so that's if you want to post a character that's in progress. We don't really need any of that. We have a good amulet. We have a Feanorian lamp. We don't really want the horns. I mean, in a way, it'd be nice to have a horn of warning to get monsters to attack us, because we've had some problems with monsters running. But I just don't want to take up an inventory spot to do that, actually. Now, do we want to take something else? Maybe... I think I don't really feel like doing a lot of forging. I think my character's equipment is pretty good. And I don't want to, like, spend an entire episode mulling over the forging options. I could do that in between episodes. So maybe I will do that. But, we don't have to do forging. We can just play the game normally. Another shadow cloak. This floor has a lot of chasms, and they're kind of cutting us off, but it doesn't matter. We've explored the floor. Okay, so you're at 800. Our minimum depth is 800. So let's find a downstairs. Because we feel pretty comfortable. We could re-roll this floor. But I think I'd rather push it. Oh, we can go to the left a bit. But I can tell, like, because you can shift the viewport around. I can't shift it any more to the left. So I can tell there's not a whole lot to the left. But I might need to go that way to find the downstairs anyway, so... I suppose we'll probably check out that extra room. Just because we're passing by. Herb of Terror, Herb of Terror. Not too exciting. Yeah, we are getting to... I mean, we're at 800 feet. If we go down, we're getting to 850. So we're getting to the end game. We're getting to the point where you could see almost any unique. We're going to see all the Raucos. We're going to see Wraiths. We're going to see more dragons. We're going to see some dragon uniques. But we'll sing Song of Freedom because of the Spider of Gorgoroth. Taking a little damage, but not too much. Some special gauntlets. We will put them on. Gauntlets of swordplay, so that's parry. Is the ability that it gives you. Parry is under evasion. Doubles the evasion bonus granted by your primary melee weapon. I don't even think that our melee weapon grants us evasion. Yeah. It's +1 to hit, but it doesn't have any evasion bonus. In most cases, if a weapon gives you an evasion bonus, then the evasion bonus is +1. So parry will give you +2 in total. I mean, it'll give you another +1 basically. However, there are some short swords that have additional evasion bonus. There's definitely one artifact that does. So parry can be very good. But yeah, in this case, it would actually just have no effect. This serpent's being annoying. We're gonna sing Slaying. As I've said, Slaying is good against serpents. Just wanted to check to see. So far, it has not broken any of our potions. We're not doing any damage. It's frost enemies are always going to be a bit of a pain for us because they're going to be resistant to our brand of our weapon. I don't like that this serpent is pulling us into the unknown. So we're going to run away. We're going to kind of regroup, close this door, come back up here, close this door, and do something else. So we found a wraith. As you saw before, wraiths are not a lot of fun. If things start going bad, we can retreat up these stairs. So let's let me check. Yeah, the problem with the great sword, and I was thinking about this earlier, is that since it's a two-handed weapon, we have to drop our shield in order to use it. So it makes us a little bit less defensive, but against wraiths, I mean, their darken ability ignores armor anyway. I just don't want to wield this greatsword and then have to my shield will overflow in my inventory. We're going to drop the Battle Axe of Thangorodrim at the moment. We are going to wield this Greatsword of Final Rest. We're going to see how this goes. We did 5d9. We only rolled 19. But 5d9 is pretty good. Okay. It did a lot of damage to us. But we got it in the end. Put the kite shield back on. Put the spear back on. So I'm happy about that. We were able to take out a wraith. Now 2 at once, I'd be a little bit less confident. I just let those guys run away. I just want to heal. This dude's back. How much health does he have? 10d4 health. I kind of just want to take away a bit of health from him if I can. He's doing damage to us. Let's try that axe against him. So first we'll fight this. Yeah, the Urarauco is pretty easy. For this character. I'm gonna rest just a bit. He came to find us. Just want to see if this is gonna do more damage. I'm having a hard time hitting him. Oh, he shouldn't be. Our melee is favorable. 3d9, but he's rolling pretty well for his armor. And how is the spear? 3d12, yeah. Got a 15 hit. This thing's slaying, and let's see if that'll take him out. Oh, he's got so little health, but we'll do it anyway. There we go. Okay. Took out that dang serpent. So you can see why people sometimes take the Bane ability against serpents. So let's check out this potion. We'll use Understanding. I'm kind of hoping it's a Mirror sorry. Yeah, this is a very good potion. Cure stunning, confusion, hallucination, poison, blindness, cuts, and fear. But more importantly for me, restores half your health. It's a big healing potion. And as I've said, I really value healing. So we definitely want to keep this. I think that what we're gonna do. The battle axe wasn't that useful. So we're gonna pick up the potion instead. We don't need to carry that many weapons. It was nice that the battle axe can be used as a one-handed, because it's a 1.5, but yeah, I think I'm happy with our inventory. So we've got some experience to spend. Let's give ourselves one more perception, one more melee. We can't give ourselves another evasion, but we will do that as soon as we can. Just keep boosting those a little bit. Oh, you know what? Give ourselves another point of will. I want to make sure that we don't have will issues. Let's think freedom again. This is one of those things that I find pretty common in roguelikes in general, but it's definitely true in Sil. You know, if you find wow, we slayed that darting horror before I even really realized it was there. If you find like something that has a cold attack, put on your resistant to cold ring. If you fight a spider of Gorgoroth, give yourself your freedom of movement. You just have to be diligent, or else you're going to get in trouble. Now if we wield our greatsword, our shield will overflow our inventory. We're going to do it anyway. You destroyed the wraith. Okay. That's really good. Yeah, wraiths are just one of those enemies that like you have to keep in mind at all times. At some point you're going to start fighting wraiths, and you have to have some way to deal with them. Because reducing our grace, I know I've talked about stat reduction in the past. In general, you know, just be careful about stat reduction. Don't let things reduce your stats. You know, if you can't afford it. But because we have so much Lempos, I just don't even. It's just pretty much a non-factor in my opinion. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to mention, it's really funny. You know, we're gonna take him out because I just don't like the idea of stepping backwards, having to run, for instance, and having this guy blocking our path. Let's see if this great sword can do any damage to him. It can. It's taking some time. You know, every time we take a turn doing something like this, we're pushing our minimum depth a bit. But well, it seemed worth it in that case. Maybe not. It's still pretty annoying that we have a full inventory, but we'll just deal with it. So yeah, it's interesting watching back my videos. I watch them back after I record them, and I see, you know, myself making mistakes, saying the wrong thing, that kind of thing. So yeah, I apologize for that. You know, every now and then I definitely make a mistake and say something incorrect. Usually it's pretty obvious. Those Uraraka are so easy because they're vulnerable to cold. I forgot about that. It's also interesting just to hear myself talk, to think about and kind of critically evaluate how I talk. It's been an interesting experience, but one thing I was just thinking, like, as I was listening back, how, you know, we've been fighting these specters. Those are the ghost kind of monsters that are in the walls. And I didn't know that they reduce your constitution. Sorry, reduce your grace. And it is kind of one of those things, like, I probably should know that, right? And I think it's kind of like well, I mean, partially it's a consequence. Another thing, as I've watched myself play, it's interesting how much I kind of just let pass when I'm playing normally, or I just relearn again every time. But I'm trying to pay a little bit more attention as I'm playing for everyone here, and I'm learning a lot myself, which is great. You always learn a lot when you try to teach something, right? But also the thing is, like, the vast majority of the time when I play this game, I play as a pacifist. So I don't really know, like, I end up not knowing that much about how things attack. I know a lot more about how good they are at recognizing, or how high their perception is, whether they're fast or not, you know, whether they're going to see me and whether they're going to catch me, basically. Most of the time, things don't hit me that much. And if they do, the run's usually over. I really like playing as a pacifist. This game has the best stealth of any roguelike that I've played personally. I'm trying to think about what to do about this ring of protection. That's why I'm kind of hanging out here still. Because, like I said earlier, I'd like to have 2 1d2 protection rings. We really, like, need to cull our inventory whenever using Majesty, but I just want to keep it around. Revelations was Revelations was really useful that one time, so I want to keep it. Sanctity you always have to keep. One thing we can do is take poison resistance. It'd be nice to have just passive poison resistance from the will tree. And we could take a point of grace. Mr. Hunter. I mean, we have enough experience to take really just one thing. At some point, we might actually get exchange places. Almost certainly we will. At least for the throne room and for the escape. But yeah, we're going to take poison resistance. Yeah, this is going to be good. So it's really good to just have passive poison resistance. And I mean, this might not be the best idea, but I'm going to drop this ring of poison, ring of venom's end. I mean, I'm going to pick up this ring of protection, and we're going to use the ring of protection. And now we have 2 rings of protection, so 2 to 4 additional armor. And I think that's going to be really good for us. Yeah, I was saying about stealth. You can play a stealth character. So here, this is a good example. I know I keep interrupting myself, but that's okay. I was just about to go to the right, and I stopped myself and started walking backwards. And it's precisely for the reason that I mentioned earlier, because there's corridors up and there are corridors down. So if I just keep going, pushing to the right, I could have like a backfill of monsters. So I don't want to do that. Meet the land boss. It only restored 1 grace. I kind of forgot about that. That it only restores 1. But I mean, we're just gonna let that go for now. So we do have these antidote potions. So even though we dropped the ring of venom's end, we now have poison resistance, and we still have the antidote with us, so should be fine. At this point, we've used so many understanding charges that I kind of don't want to keep using them. And we've also identified Mirror of Var, so in strength, dexterity, constitution, we've identified a lot of the really good potions. So let's just quaff this. Awkwardness. Okay, so yeah, that would have been a waste of an identity charge. So yeah, I know you can play like stealth and Infra Arcana. Infra Arcana seems like a really cool game. Unfortunately, it doesn't really run on my computer. For some reason, always the process just hangs when you try to open it. Horn of Force is cool. We have a dexterity drained. Because of the potion of awkwardness, we're just going to take this herb of restoration, get that back up, and that'll bring our grace back up as well. Yeah, you can play like a stealth character in I played some 7DRL games that were stealth based. I was a judge for the last year's 7DRL. It was a lot of fun. Played a lot of games. There's a game you can play in your browser called Harmonist, which is a lot of fun. It's a stealth game with a nice sort of simple tile set. You're playing as a monkey. Got some good stealth gameplay. I used to play a lot of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. You can play as a stealth character in that, but it's not like pure stealth. It's always more like an assassin or like a hexing character. So I've won as like a basically like pure hexes, brigand, that kind of thing. That's a lot of fun. But it's not like in Sil, right? In Sil, you can play a character that just sings monsters to sleep. I mean, that's super cool. Or you can play a character that has no song. It takes an oath of silence and just like is really stealthy and runs real fast. And there's something very appealing to me about that. So we picked up that potion of grace, basically just so that, like, if we do end up fighting some of these specters, I can take the potion of grace and restore our grace. You know, I don't think we really need a potion of grace. It's good to have around. I mean, I could quaff grace and then use the staff of majesty or something. You notice this spear has been lighting up and then getting dim again. What is near? It might be the dragon. It's a great spear. But great spears are two-handed. So, I don't think we want to transition to a great spear. But I am going to put it on for now, and we're going to fight. Hey, it was Nargothrond. So, Nargothrond slays dragons and Rarkar. Let's see if we can just take out this dragon. Excellent. And we'll drop it. I mean, it's good to have. It's a good type of weapon. If we did use it, then when we fought Rarkar, we would have our Bane +1 dice, and the slaying +1 dice. But we've invested in this shield by taking blocking. Oh, a Matic, okay. Let's drop our shovel and pick up this Matic. Yeah. Yeah, so I was talking about stealth. Yeah, I don't know of any other game that handles stealth quite as well as Sil. If anyone else has suggestions, I'd love to hear them. But that's one of the things that's really drawn me to the game, is the stealth stuff. So in this case, I do think I am going to go to the rest of the level. You know, doing this backtracking, again, we're wasting turns. I wasn't very good about thinking about the efficiency of my dungeon exploration. But, well, I forgive myself. I hope you can forgive me as well. So let's sing freedom. Let's kill the spider of Morgoth. He's fleeing as they usually do. We're just gonna let him go. We'll let him live his life. Maybe he's reformed, you know. And let's see. Did we find it downstairs? Found one over there and one here. Closest one is, well, it's hard to tell, honestly, but we'll go down. And we are at, our death is 850 and our minimum death is 900. Yeah, these floors are a lot bigger near the end. They take a lot longer to explore, and I was not very efficient, as I said, so our minimum depth is really catching up to us. We're confused, and we're fighting a young cold drake. But we killed him. Okay. Yeah, so we should go down. And we're at 44 minutes, so, you know, this is probably a good time to stop the episode. So we're not... doing that. You know, the last episode was a little extra long, so I think I'll go ahead and stop it now, because as soon as I step out into this room, there's some stuff firing arrows. You know, it's going to be a whole situation. We might need to hunt some stuff down, that kind of thing. We got a bit of experience. You know, Master Hunter might be good. I think that this is going to be one of those episodes where I think about how I'm going to spend my experience, and then we'll do it at the beginning of the next one. Yeah. Yep, I think that's what we're going to do. So we got ourselves to 900 feet. We're really getting towards the end now, so that's very exciting. This is going to be some, scary couple of floors, but 900 and 950 are where the best loot is, so we'll be on the lookout for that. But yeah, as always, I really appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.